Hello everybody. You're welcome back to my YouTube channel. For my returning subscribers, a million pieces. For my new subscribers, you're most definitely welcome. So today we're going to be doing these dumbbells, DIY dumbbells. You can do them yourself at home. It's quite cheap and very affordable. We know with the new normal due to the coronavirus, we cannot go to the gym, and because of lockdown, we have put on a lot of weight, as you can see. So we need to work out to stay healthy, not just healthy, but younger, fit, and sexy. We see the likes of Marima and Kate Henshaw, who just turned 50, and they look 25, man. So we need to work out, put in the effort to look young, beautiful, and healthy. So let's get straight into the tutorial where I'll be showing you how to do these dumbbells. Very cheap. We know to get a dumbbell from the supermarket or an online shop is quite expensive, but with this, you can do it yourself at home and work out all you want. Let's get straight into the tutorial. So to do our DIY dumbbell, these are the things we're going to need. We need sand, gravel, we need water to mix, and then containers that are going to serve as molds for our dumbbell. We need PVC pipes, measuring tape, nails, and black sellotape, and of course cement. So let's get straight into it and let's see how to go about it. Okay, so for our molds, the molds for the dumbbells, you could use any container as a mold. You could use this one. We're going to do several dumbbells, the big dumbbells and small dumbbells. You could use this one, just cut it into two, or you could use the small one if you want to maybe just maybe 10 kilograms. You could use this container of water, or this one, we're going to start with this one. We're just going to cut this container into two. First of all, let's measure the length of the full container. It's about 18 centimeters. It's about 18 centimeters, so half of 18 is 9. So we're going to measure at we're going to measure at 9 centimeters. Okay. I'm going to mark it there. We're going to mark it at 9 centimeters, and then we're going to cut it into two. After cutting it into two, we'll just come here to our PVC pipes. As I said, we need PVC pipes. We're going to come here and we measure 9 centimeters too. See, I already marked it. 9 centimeters here, mark, and 9 centimeters on this side of it, we mark. So depending on how big you want it, how large, how heavy you want it. If you want to use this one for the big ones, you could also measure how big you want it. You just measure and mark to help you. Okay, I'm going to just cut this behind the camera and get back to you. Now, to know the exact length to use, you need to also know your grip, how you grip it. If you grip, you need to know where you want your weight to be. You see, if I grip here, I have a little bit of space here. These are my marks where I'm going to put my weight. So, if depending on how big your hand is, you could decide to maybe increase the weight or reduce it. Increase the mark rather, or reduce it. Let's get quick. So I finished cutting it. I'm going to use both sides for the mold. So now we're going to get our mixture. We're going to mix sand. We're going to mix sand, gravel, and cement. We're going to use the mixing bowl to mix it. We're going to mix it in the ratio of 1 part cement, 2 parts sand, and 2 parts gravel. Okay, so after putting 2 parts sand, 2 parts gravel, and 2 one part cement. You could do 2 parts of cement as well, just to make it to be firmer. If you have a lot of cement, you could do 2 parts of cement to make it firmer. So I'm just going to mix it this way, and then we're going to add water in this as well. So I'll finish mixing this off camera. I'm going to add water. Come back to add water. Okay, so I finished mixing the mix. So I'm just going to put in water now. I measured everything using the same cup. 1 cup of cement, 2 cups of gravel, and 2 cups of sand. So I'm putting 1 cup of water now. I'm just going to see how the consistency is going to be like. I'm going to see how it's going to be like. I'm going to know if to add. And one more thing, you can decide to use just sand and cement without gravel. You're using gravel just to make sure, just to add the weight. Okay, I think this consistency is perfect. Perfect. So we're going to go in with our molds now to fill them. Okay, so now we're just going to fill up the molds. I hope this is okay. This is my first time to do this. We're just going to shake it to eliminate air bubbles. That's done. I'm going to go in with our PVC pipes now. Okay, so I'm here. This are my PVC pipes. I put this nail scale on both sides, crossbar, just to increase the grip, to make sure it grips firmly, so that whatever happens, it cannot come off from the mold. So I just need to look for the center of this and just to make sure it goes all the way to the bottom. To make sure it doesn't sit on gravel. Okay. Anyway, it is now perfect. We'll do the same for this one. Okay. And we just try to smoothen the top. So I'm just making sure it's perfectly smooth up here. Everything is centralized. So we're just going to let this sit for 24 hours. After which we're going to do the same for this part of it. You know, we need to balance the weight on both sides. So when it sits for 24 hours, we're going to just do the same for this part. So I'll see you again in 24 hours. Here we are 24 hours later. It's all set. See, it's hard now. So we want to take out this mold. Well, we use as a mold. We're just going to use this hammer to hit it. I already started taking it out already. So we're just going to hit it and take it out. You can use whatever method suits you. For the other ones, this ones, because they were soft, we just tore them off. This one, because it's a bit hard, the mold we used is hard. So it's out. Now we're just going to reuse these molds again. We're just going to reuse them to do the top part, to balance the dumbbells. We're just going to do the same thing, the same mix we did for the last, to do this one. We're going to use the same mix to fill them in here, and then we're going to put it here. I'll show you what I did. Okay, I'll just fill this behind the scenes and come back to you. So we have it. I filled up the molds. Now same like yesterday, I have on the other part of this PVC pipe, I just put my nails there, which is supposed to reinforce it, and I'm just going to fit it in, and I make sure I'm leaning it on the wall just for support. Okay, so leave it like that for 24 hours as well. So tomorrow we're going to come back to show you how it turns out. So it's 24 hours later, and here we are. It's all done. So what we're just going to do now is to take out the molds from the bottom part, and then we're going to take the weight just to be sure of the weight we're working with, and we're going to wrap the hand. So the handle here is black tape just to increase the firmness of the grip. So we've taken out the molds, and now let's check out the weight. That is the weight, 5.5 kilograms. So you can do this of varying weights depending on what you want, and if you want higher weight, you should increase the amount of concrete and sand. So I've done this several weights, many different shapes, sizes. So we're just going to use this black tape and just wrap it all around. The reason is so that it can be firmly gripped. You know, the PVC pipe is kind of smooth. Okay. That's how it looks now. Now we can spray the weight on the dumbbell, especially if you're doing it for other people to use.